What's a phrase men hate hearing from women? No, you go ahead, do whatever you want. My mom does this, but I take it at face value. If you tell me I can, I will. I don't have time to waste on those types of games. That's what I did after my first relationship. I'm gonna completely ignore your bullshit games. If you tell me to do something, I do it, and you get mad, that's on you. Thankfully, once you start dating people who matured past high school, it goes away. Are you even listening to me? And I think to myself, what a weird way to start a conversation. She gave me a bunch of crap about me not listening to her enough or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. We need to talk. I'll add to this one, we need to do X. Which 99% of the time means I need to do X. And she just wants to tell me to fix clean by move whatever X happens to be. Do you like my friend? Because it always ends up in an argument either way. Hard to tell, I haven't seen her naked yet. That ought to work. Had an ex who got preemptively mad at me when one of her friends was gonna stay with us for a few weeks because she just knew that I was gonna cheat with her friend. Okay, first, why are you friends with somebody who would fuck your boyfriend? Second, I had done nothing to damage the trust in our relationship, so I was annoyed that her trusting me wasn't just the default. Third, I discovered later on that she was cheating on me. Projection is real. It's always the jealous ones that are doing what they're worried you'll do. How can you not think anything? You must be hiding something. For me, a big part of this is envy. I wish I could think less. Would mean I'd never have said shit like this. I mean, sometimes it's nothing, but most of the time, nothing is just a random situation that makes no sense that I'm thinking of in my mind. I don't know why I'm trying to think which animal would be the best drift racer, and I don't know where to start explaining the thought process behind it, or how I even got there. How are you still single? You're a great guy. Hear it a bunch from some women friends of mine. I always just brush it off, but kinda stings a bit more each time. I try not to say this a lot anymore, but for me it was more of me trying to say I think you're an awesome person and you deserve happiness. I eventually learned it was just easier to say that instead. Definitely would prefer to being called an awesome person and I deserve happiness than what they say now. This is very general, but I see you don't have anything planned on this day, so let's fill it up with lots of stuff instead of letting you relax. Edit. Some guys love to do stuff all the time, so don't take this as universal, just listen to your guy. What are your plans for the day? Nothing. Okay, let's do dash. I'm going to stop you right there and say that I am planning to do nothing today. He couldn't handle me. Relationships are about building each other up, not constantly having to deal with the other person's attitude or poor behavior. Mental health. This is not as much of a flex as a lot of people think it is and raises major red flags for me. I have a boyfriend. When you're not even hitting on her. Like she assumes you are going to and preempts that shit. I witnessed this one happen. Some lady dropped her phone in the grocery store and a dude tracked her down at the register to give it back to her. He politely got her attention with a tap on the shoulder after several "Excuse me?" were ignored. Finally she turned around with a "I have a boyfriend." And dude handed her the phone and said, "Let him know his bitchy girlfriend dropped her phone, but a nice stranger returned it to her." And walked away. Sounds like one of those. And then everyone clapped. Stories, and I would likely not believe it if I didn't witness it with my own eyes. I kind of wanted to go have a beer with that guy after the exchange. I can never think of smart comebacks like that in the moment. You gotta be able to afford having me around. Women like this usually have a hilariously inflated sense of self-worth and aren't the type I'd spend a dime on. They're leeches, thinking they deserve what they have and what their current partner has. Let me see if I can get the neighbor to help you fix that. I'm pretty handy around the house. Not a professional, but I get fixed most things with a little bit of time and effort. When my wife and I had our first kid, there came a day on the weekend when the door to the playroom our daughter was in got jammed. I'm not ever really sure what happened. I think the knob failed and she started freaking out. Imagine, a baby in a room, all alone. We couldn't get it. The sky was on fire. Hell had broken though, the street and demon we flying out. We needed to get her out now. It took me about 5 to 10 minutes to just figure out what the hell happened. Was the door pinned? Was the mechanism jammed? While I was working on that, out came the phrase, and before I could look back she was gone. I'm still working to wiggle out the pins in the door, when the neighbor comes next to me. Hovering. What are you doing with that? No, that's not right, you should do this. Let me try. I was so mad, I just backed off and said go for it. All the while looking at my wife. In the end, the neighbor literally pried the door casement off, wrecking the jamb, the mechanism, and banging up the door. But it was open. The neighbor patted me on the back and left me with a horrible mess to fix and clean. Never again.